Greatness Quest. I'm Trevor Crane, and every week I'm bringing you somebody to blow up your business, to take it to the next level. This week is Victoria Griggs, and we're going to talk all about paid advertising. Actually, what do you call it, Victoria? You say that it's a little different.
Well, I like to think of it as social ads, and it's mainly on Facebook. I've been also working with YouTube, but I think Facebook advertising, especially for people just getting started or starting with campaigns, is the way to go. There are just so many opportunities with it. So we'll say Facebook ads, but then with an emphasis on also what happens after the ad, because I think so many people leave that out.
I think that's great. And by the way, we're going to get very, very... This is serious about some guerrilla marketing for you, because Victoria is one of our co-authors of Your Epic book launch, and she's helping run all of our Facebook advertising for our promotion that we do for the new programs that we have coming out of that book. And we're very grateful to have her. In fact, when some of the co-authors and I were planning this book, we said, okay, we need to have a woman. We want her to be very pretty, very successful. We want her to be really good at the online media. Actually, give everybody the name of your company. Tell them how to find you if they want to look for you on their own.
Sure. It's Straight Line Marketing, just like it sounds, StraighTline marketing, straightlinemarketing.com.
All right. So that's Victoria Griggs. And she's worked with some really big names. I mean, one that you guys might know about is John Assaraf. That's a big name. She does marketing for, I think you've got a $100 million software company and some mega churches that will bring on Victoria to go ahead and run their social marketing and social advertising. So phenomenal. Go ahead and tell somebody that might be watching right now, what do they need to do to get started with marketing? You said start with Facebook, and what are your recommendations?
Yeah, so if you're just getting started, Facebook is such a great way to go, because you can get a business page going in about 3 minutes. So if you don't have a website, you don't need one these days, to be honest. It's, right now you need an online presence. So you need some place to call home. That could be a Facebook business page. And if you don't have one, it's as easy as going to your personal profile in Facebook. If you go to the right-hand side, which if you're watching this, might be opposite, go to the right-hand side, which is now my left. You go to the right-hand side and just go into Create Page. When you create a page, it's as simple as giving it a name, uploading a couple pictures, and start really posting and telling people what you're about. With that foundation, you can start to run Facebook ads, and really running Facebook ads to start to build a fan base. So the easiest place to start is just to start that page, and even at the bare minimum, start a like campaign. And what a like campaign is, it's just very simple. All you're asking people to do is saying, do you love this topic? Then like my page. You can start to build a fan base. Now, I do have a couple recommendations right off the bat, if that's okay for like campaigns.
It is, and I want to go ahead and ask you a question about this. So you recommend starting the business page then, and then you'll even do paid marketing to a like campaign, is that right?
For sure, yeah. And so here's the difference there. First of all, you have to have a business page to run any kind of paid ads within Facebook. You can't do it just from a personal profile. Plus, you do want the separation from your business page and your personal page. But for a like campaign, so what you don't want to do, and people make this mistake all the time, is you start a page and you really want the social proof. So what do? You talk to your friends and family and go, hey, I just started this page, like it. But the problem is, they're not your target customers, usually. So if you're starting to build a page and you're seeding your page with a whole bunch of people that you know that aren't your target market, when you do start to run paid ads, or when you start to, Facebook has something very easy when you do a post, and they say boost post. But when you boost a post, it often goes to fans and their friends. If you've already seeded your page with people who are not your customers, you're actually paying from then forward to boost it to the wrong people. So right from the start, it's actually to your benefit to spend, even $2, $5 a day, something really short, really small, but start to build your page with people that could be your target customer. So I think bare minimum is to go ahead and get your business page set up, start a like campaign, and start a like campaign with by choosing your target audience. So when you go in and create a like campaign through the ads manager, it's very easy to set up, but you have everything available to you in who you can target. And also, before we get in, I want to remind me to talk about some research tools in Facebook as well.
Okay, great. So research tools, I got to make a note of that. And everybody, all of my audience know to make sure you're taking notes about stuff. This is really, really good because I've
got mine.
Oh, that's great.
I figure I'm going to learn from you too. So here.
Damn Skippy, you're going to learn something. Yeah. So that's really cool because I hadn't thought about that, but that boost post thing going to all the wrong people, that seems like a huge mistake most everybody would make.
And you know what? It builds on itself because the more that you get the wrong people, then you start to do a little bit of promotion and then it goes to more of the wrong people and it really starts to become a page that doesn't serve you. And people say, oh, I'm not getting results from my Facebook ads. Well, have you built your page with your target customers? Most people, the answer is no.
Right. Well, one of our clients, I've got a partner of mine who I think we've been working with this client for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I can't remember exactly. And she's grown her page to over 100,000. I think it's like 120,
That's awesome.
150,000 likes. And I was under the misconception that was all just people organically coming into her page. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. There's actually a very strategic paid marketing campaign to grow that list. And I didn't know this until I was talking to my partner. I'm like, how is she doing this? She's killing it. Well, she's really good at it. And it's very strategic. And you know what? We're going to end up taking a quick break here, but are you going to give us you said you've got some resources to do some research.
Oh,
And also, Victoria, what to say. Because as soon as you said, great, run an ad, I mean, I'm in sales and communication. I talk about that all the time. It's like someone will not do something because they don't know what to say. So you're going to give us some of that after the break?
Sure, I'm happy to.
Okay, awesome. So I'm here with Victoria Griggs. On this next segment, you're going to get some resources that are going to help you with the research, also what to say when you start doing your own Facebook marketing. Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Greatness Quest. I'm Trevor Crane. This is Victoria Griggs. We are talking about doing paid marketing on Facebook and some strategic campaigns you should be using right now to just grow your ideal client fan base. You said something about a like campaign. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and first of all, I just want to go ahead and acknowledge what's probably a big elephant in the room. I think people have really strong opinions from what I found from being a Facebook marketer about a like campaign. Because people say, oh, I'm not going to pay for likes. Those aren't business results. And for a long time, actually, when I first started my company, I'm very numbers driven. And from working with Trevor for just a little bit, I think he may know this, but I mean, I live my life in spreadsheets. I love numbers. I'm constantly looking at dollar in, dollar out for marketing campaigns. So for me too, I thought when I started this about 2.5 years ago, I was really looking and saying, okay, well, when I'm going for a like campaign, why would I pay for a like? And what I found is that for most people who are looking at building a business, that's the easiest way to start building your list. It's really a social list. And, there are almost kind of 3 levels of lists. And one is who you have on your social media. 2 is what, is maybe a little bit of an advanced concept we can come back to, but it's what I call a retargeting list. And that's someone who's landed on your website. So they've taken the next step, but they may not have actually given you their name and email. And then, of course, the best type of list is the people who give you your name and email. But not laying the foundation with your social list is actually going to do your business a disservice in the long run. So I really changed my tune working with clients and seeing how the campaigns, people who we were able to target their fans and friends of fans, they had a much better results from their ads in the future. So taking the time and a little bit of expense to lay the foundation with a good like campaign for your page is going to pay you dividends in the long run. And what it does is you can just keep it running $2 a day even, just like a heartbeat in the background. So as you're doing your other marketing campaigns, you can just keep the like campaign going. So you're always adding just, a few fans every day. And as we talked about, the very important is a few fans of your target audience. So the way that we do that is we actually use the ads manager to create a like ad. Now, what happens if you don't do that?
Okay, so hold on. Before you overwhelm me, I just want to understand these few things because you've got so much of the technical know-how. I'm a caveman when it comes to a lot of this. I mean, I go to war, right? But I want to know exactly what to do.
Serious business.
So there's 3 different kinds of lists, if I understand it right. There's the social list, which is what is on our Facebook, in this
Yeah,
example?
and these are the way I categorize lists when I'm working with clients, because a like campaign or building fans of really any platform, you can start right away just by using their tools. It's a very low barrier to entry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got that retargeting list, which is what you do if they don't actually click and buy and whatnot, and then you can retarget some marketing. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you said ideally you're capturing a name and an email, which is when I'm thinking of a list,
Yeah.
that's what I'm really thinking
Absolutely.
about. But you're saying the value of the $2 a day in the background that everybody should be running is that trickle heartbeat. I like that as an idea of your growing your list strategically and consistently. So that sounds awesome. Now,
Yeah.
this next transition then is into what to say or how to target the list. Which is it?
So actually, let's talk about one thing that we haven't addressed about paid likes.
Okay.
And I really just want to put that out there because what we also have
Paid
sometimes.
likes. What do you mean as a paid like?
Yep. And so it used to be popular. I don't see it as much anymore, but if anyone out there is at all tempted by this, it's where you go to Fiverr or Odesk or basically anywhere that you can find people that do work for you and they'll say, if you pay me $5, I'll give you 100 likes. So where you're basically buffering your page. So if you don't want to buffer your page with friends and family, you definitely don't want to buffer your page with these random likes that blow up your numbers. So people really used to do this for social proof. And just real quick, I was working with a client and we were talking about, she had boosted a post and said, oh, I got great results from it. Well, I went into Ads Manager and I looked and I was like, well, I could tell, you can actually see the profile of who's responded. And I said, unless your target market is 13-year-old Brazilian boys, you did not have great results. So she had great results from the numbers that she could see. But when you dug deeper into really who was clicking on the ad, and I asked her, I said, years ago when you started your page, did you ever do a paid like campaign? And she's not a campaign, but buy likes.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, actually, bought likes to start the page. That little seed of buying likes to start the page years before, every time she boosted a post, she was growing more and more of her page to be 13-year-old Brazilian boys. Now she sells business coaching to entrepreneurs. So every time she's doing ads now, she's worsening the problem because she wasn't doing targeting.
And so then more 13-year-old Brazilian boys, which if that's your business, it sounds amazing. But are you saying that also her marketing dollar is being spent on the wrong target also? So that's costing her money every month, or is it just, or how does that work?
Well, it's without her knowing, because in Facebook, many of us have seen these things where you can boost a post. And when you boost a post, it defaults to reaching more of your fans. And then when your fan interacts with something, it posts on their timeline. And so by default, their friends and fans see it.
Yeah.
Or you can actually choose friends of fans, which again kind of worsens the problem. So the best thing to do when you go in...
And you're paying for that appearance.
You're paying for that.
So this is the cost. This is how it is an expanding problem, because you're like, look how good it is. And then you've got a growing group of 13-year-old boys from another country that you're not ideally targeting. Is there a way to fix that problem if someone's done that?
There is. And so unfortunately, it's just getting your numbers up to where now you're changing the ratio of the fans that you have are true fans in your target market versus not. Now, before we go into what to say, because I know you're dying to create the ad, but let's talk about who you're going to talk to first.
I think that's important. Okay,
yeah. So Facebook has this amazing platform called Audience Insights. Not many people know about it. And one of the things I love about Facebook, in fact, I've really been driven more and more towards working in Facebook as an overall marketing platform because they have so many tools. They have tools from research, and we know that there are paid ads and contests and your web pages with a business page. There's so many things that people don't really associate typically with Facebook that can grow your business.
Okay.
So I'm going to just talk about a little bit for Audience Insights. I'll give you a quick little tip, and then after the break, we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that. But if you go into facebook.com/ads/manage, now they do change their URLs, but is what's getting you into your ads platform now. You'll go in and you'll see your ads platform, your campaigns, and there's a little thing in the left-hand menu called Audience Insights. So when you click into there, you're going to be able to do some extremely interesting research in your target market. And that's something, again, that we can kind of talk about in just a little bit.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to talk more after the break about specifically who to target and then what to say so that you can monetize your marketing when it comes to your Facebook. Hey guys, welcome back. Trevor Crane here with Victoria Griggs, and we are getting really serious. This is super freaking serious about how you're going to go ahead and grow your business using Facebook. Sorry, I got lightheaded there for a second.
Wow, I don't know that I can match that.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm looking around. I'm
know.
like, can I climb up on anything? I don't know.
I felt that there was a call. I just had to do something stupid. So we're going to talk more about who to target, what to say, and then what our goals are about our Facebook marketing, which is where I know you've been focusing a lot lately.
Yeah.
But I want to let everybody know that Victoria is one of our co-authors of Your Epic Book Launch. And when you get that book, you can go ahead and get her chapter, which is phenomenal because it will help Facebook for authors. And I think you have a free gift that you're giving away as well. So can you tell people about that?
I do, yeah. So there are a number of resources for Facebook for authors, but in the chapter, I go over a framework called Facebook for Authors, and it talks about really what to do when you're researching, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in a second here. Today we're talking about it in the context of a like campaign, but these same research tools and approaches can be used when you're researching your book and topics and who to talk to. So this Facebook for Authors framework, we talk about the researching piece, we talk about building your audience ahead of time so you have someone to announce to, we talk about the launch process, and then we talk about how to engage and upsell your clients or readers over time. So really all of these pieces, we cover about 8 different tools, maybe more, in Facebook that you can use in unison to really be a marketing platform. So that is what we discuss in the Epic Book chapter. And then I also have this framework as something that you can download, and a little bit of explanation about it and some sample ads that you can download as well.
I love it. And sample ads, by the way, mean model copy, tweak it to your own language and your own business, obviously, but I love that. So thank you for that resource. For those of you listening on podcast, go to greatnessquest.com/FB as for Facebook, FB for authors. So FB for authors, greatnessquest.com/FB for authors. And again, you'll get Victoria's book, or at least her chapter on more detail in Your Epic Book Launch. So now, you were just saying about using audience insights through the facebook.com/ads/manage and pick us up where you left off.
So if you then from ads/manage, you go into a little link that says audience insights. Now, let me just give some background here. I came out of about 17 years in corporate marketing. I've owned my own company about 3 years. And in those 17 years, I was a developer, a strategist, a program manager. I led a marketing team for a multi-million-dollar company. So the main thing that really set us apart, and I was a product manager for software for 8 or 9 years, the main thing that really was key about a successful project was data. So we used to work with external companies, and we would actually pay thousands of dollars for research and even surveys, just to try to understand who is our target market and how are we going to make this successful, whether it was a software product or a marketing campaign. So when Facebook came out with Audience Insights, having come from this background, what they provide for you for free is what I've paid for 17 years. I paid thousands of dollars to other companies to help us do the research to get. And now it's available in just a few clicks for free from Facebook for all of us. Now, when I saw this, I can't overstate the importance of it. I don't know if any of you, do you remember Google, when it came out for Google, the satellite view? So suddenly you could see the views from space.
Oh, yeah.
So they kind of quietly put that into their maps. And I remember kind of clicking around and seeing that one time, and I thought, wow, like this is amazing. You know, all of that amazing technology that had only been available to NASA is now available to all of us.
Right, you can see somebody's front porch, and you're like, "Oh," you zoom in on it, like they're having a yard sale.
I mean, it's amazing. Well, that same thing, that same wonder, is what I felt when I saw Audience Insights, because I was like, "Wow, all of this stuff is now available to us for free."
Now, I want to interject here for a second because when somebody's when you share information that I haven't heard before, and then you use terms and technology and buttons and new pages and things.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. Like 1, 2, 3, I can process. But when we get past 3, I'm overwhelming. So in this context, it's so crucially important to be able to use these things. Do you think it's worth every entrepreneur's time to because these aren't complicated variables, but it's easy to be overwhelmed and say, I don't know how to do it. And I mean, my advice is to always find someone to help you do it. That's why we wanted you to work with us on our project and to help us get it done, because we wanted it done really well. But for someone who wants to do it themselves, can they put in a little bit of work and not be overwhelmed and still create a result here using your advice?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so the main thing to do is, I think it sounds complicated just because we've talked about a web address. And anytime you talk about / anything, it becomes complicated. All we've done here is go here.
Okay.
All I said is, go to the ads manager and enter audience insights.
Got
it's
it.
step
So now
one.
Step one, we're there. And you're saying that the information in there is infinitely valuable to every entrepreneur that wants to run an ad to anyone for anything, to sell anything to any human.
In fact, I'm even going beyond that.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is the information that's there, regardless of whether you ever run an ad, is amazing target market research for your business.
Great.
So this is something that with audience insights, it gives you the level of information that corporations pay thousands of dollars to get. You can get it for free. You can use it for your business. You can use it as a foundation for a like campaign or for book research.
Now, this is one other thing that I think is key here, because when you tell me that it's really, really valuable, like the most important thing, and that people pay a lot of money for it, and you finish it with, and you can get it for free, this, quite frankly, unfortunately, that statement kind of says, well, it's not worth anything. Like it just sabotages it right there. It's free. So you know what? If it's free, then it's not that valuable, because if I don't have to pay for it, if I can just get it any day, then it's not that valuable. So please reframe that for any of us that fall into this pattern of, well, if it's expensive, it must be good. If it's free, it must be bad.
And I think the best way to reframe it is with that analogy with Google. Before, if you were to look at, if you wanted satellite images of something, it would have been hugely expensive. But the fact that Google made those available for free to everyone, does that make it any less valuable?
You know what I think? Because what we have actually, so we have so many things. I'm holding my phone here is keeping track of how much time we're on our session. But we have such a powerful tool here that you can pay $100 for, a couple $100, right? And this is a multi-million-dollar piece of technology, and that's what we actually have access to. We're in a brilliant world where it doesn't cost us $1 million for it, but that's what it's worth. So what I think we're talking about here is using this resource of Facebook and the audience insights, and that it is a multi-million-dollar marketing tool that you have at your disposal. Use it or it's useless. Now, you can go ahead and have a useless anything, right? If you don't use it, then it's worthless, right? Your gym membership, for you bastards that aren't actually going and using it. That's useless, but okay, so I think that's really key. And I know this isn't the specifics of how to get it done. And so somebody might be like, Trevor, shut up and let Victoria finish. But I think there's a lot of people that listen, and I'm going to say I'm one of them, that if you start to confuse me or overwhelm me, it's Charlie Brown's teacher, that sound like wah, wah, wah. Like I'll tune out because you've overwhelmed me because it's something I don't understand. And then it might be really valuable, but it's free, so it's probably not that valuable. So my unconscious mind says, I'll have somebody else do it, and I never get around to doing it. So correct me if I'm wrong. Multi-million-dollar marketing tool at your disposal, phenomenal target market research, regardless of whether or not you pay a dollar in advertising. And you're going to now show people how to use it easily, because we only have step one, which was where to go. And now you're going to give us the others. Am I close, or would you correct that?
No, perfect.
Okay.
So step one, find audience insights, as we've talked about before. /Facebook.com, ads, manage. Go in, click on audience insights. It opens up a research tool that it'll usually give you a pop-up that says, who do you want to research? It defaults to everyone on Facebook. Go ahead and click that, just stay with the default. Everyone on Facebook. And now what you have are filters that are on the left-hand side of your screen, and then information or graphs on the right-hand side. So you can start to add filters. So you can say, you can enter interest. So if you're writing a book on pet care or dog training and you type in dog training, well, you can now type in dog training and get the demographic profile of everyone on Facebook who's interested in dog training, what pages they like, what their interests are, how many times they click on ads, do they use a credit card or cash, how many are they married, are they single, how many kids in their household. You get all kinds of information just by typing in one word and hitting return. So you can continue to use the filters on the left of your screen, type in more and more detailed information, and click through to see all of the data that it provides you on the right-hand side.
Okay, I'm going to throw up one more challenge for the cavemen out there that can't process too much information. Because I can go choose everyone. I've got that. I can use the filter on the left and click interest. I got that. Then I can start to pick, and it can be this or that or the other thing. I'm overwhelmed. So, and I'm thinking an old, very poor pattern I had was that if I didn't know what to do, and I would do nothing. Like, I don't want to do it wrong, so I don't want to break it, and I don't want to screw it up. So can they screw this up, or should they just play around with it? What should they do?
Just play around. All we've done is we've gone to Audience Insights, we've entered one word and clicked enter. I don't know how much more simple it can get than that for the caveman, right?
Good. Okay, cool.
All of the things that I was saying that you can see are the data that comes up for you, that you can click through and see the results.
Okay.
But you've gone to Audience Insights, you've chosen everyone on Facebook, entered one word and clicked enter.
So you can't get this wrong. You can and now you can click and get more insights and more detail and more filters so that it streamlines your target audience. Is that right?
Yes. So what you're looking for are what are the characteristics of people on Facebook that are likely to be interested in your topic.
Okay.
So now, once you get the results of that data and you say, oh, my market is actually 75% female, mostly 35 to 54, to take it all the way back to the beginning of this call, when you're now running a like campaign to get the right people to like your page, when you create an ad, you specify, I want females 35 to 54, right? Now, but guess what this also means? When you're writing your emails, when you're writing website copy, anything else that you're doing in your business, you can use the same information. So that's why I say Audience Insights is a key tool for your business, not just growing your foundation on Facebook.
Great, because now you know people in this example that are interested in dog training. You know potentially their age, their sex, potentially where they live or whatever the details are about this, what pages they like. Yeah. And now I can cater all of my new ads and all of my marketing and all of my conversations and every video sales letter I have towards this 54-year-old woman that is interested in this, and this, and I talk to her. Hi, Susie. And good. Love it, love it, love it. So now we've targeted the who to a certain degree. Are we done with that and we're moving on to what to say?
Sure. So what to say for, let's just go for a like campaign. It's very simple. Some of the best converting ads, you want to make sure that people know that they're in the right place. So what you can ask is, do you love X, your topic? Then like my page. Or like my page for conversations on something. So the really quick and simple is love this, then like my page.
Love this. I love that. So good, Victoria. I love simplicity. Love this? ? Like this.
Yeah, and it's all you're trying to do is get people to know that they're in the right place, and you can have different images that speak to the topic, and you can play around with different text, but just as a place to start, that's a great place to start. Now, one thing I don't want to do is leave an open loop when we talked about the 3 types of list. So it's a little bit more of an advanced concept, but I didn't want to leave that hanging. So we don't have time to go into details about it today. Let me just say a couple sentences about each, if that's okay.
Please.
Okay, so we talk about the foundation of your business is building what I call a social list of people that are your target audience, which you've done the research by going to Audience Insights. Now you have a very simple like campaign, love this, then like my page. You're now building your page with fans that are likely or could be your customers in the future. So that's what we call kind of a social list. Now there are places as well where you're going to try to actually put offers in front, or basically links or resources to your page where you want to send people to your website or something where you can capture their name and email. some of those people are going to go to your page or your website and not take the next step. Sad but true. We want some way to be able to re-engage with those people. So that's when, and again, we won't go into the details about it, but you can put something called a retargeting pixel or remarketing pixel. They're both the same word for the same, two different words for the same thing, on your website. And what that means is that you can come back and advertise to them later. Now, we've all experienced this, whether you know it or not. If you've ever gone to Amazon, looked at a product and didn't buy it, when you go around the internet for weeks afterwards, you're going to see banner ads with that product. And that product has, it's going to be constantly reminding you, hey, look at me, you didn't buy me, you want me now? You want me now? And that's what you can do with your website as well. So you don't really own those people, but you can reach them on more than just Facebook. So that's why I say there's the basic list, there's a retargeting list, but ultimately what you want is the name and email. So really all of your campaigns and your Facebook marketing, you can start to capture people at a very basic level. All they've got to do, click like. The next, maybe they click over to your next page, but they don't necessarily sign up. You can still re-engage them. And then finally, hopefully they do sign up for something, you get them on your email list, and then you can actually start to nurture them and lead them to a sale.
All right. Great descriptions. You know, since the first time we've connected, and actually the first time we connected, Victoria, I read your chapter. So that's the first time we actually spoke.
Excellent.
Was when I got your chapter for the book. Loved it. I loved how you went right into so much content. So it just was so valuable and so easy to understand and implement. And it's been totally fun interacting with you every time since, because your descriptions, you and I talk the same language. It's very results focused. I love numbers. I love to make sure that I'm getting the result from my communication. So you're also really cool. What I did while you were talking is I started drawing a little diagram of what I see. You mentioned the platform. So in your Epic book launch, and what I teach all the time is how you can use your book as the platform for your business. Can you see that okay?
I can.
My ridiculous little drawing here.
No, I love it. And the multicolors, very good.
Yeah, well, I've got highlighters.
I can see some skills. Yeah.
So I've always said that your book can be this phenomenal platform for your business. And what you just said is that your target audience is your platform for your business. So I modified this slightly because that's what your book should be geared towards, and your business should be geared towards, and all your communication be geared towards, and your business is the house on top. That orange here is a house. Does it look like a house?
It does, very much so, yeah.
So that's your business. And then the foundations of 1 through 7 here, this is also your marketing launch of your pre-launch of your book, your ebook, your paperback book, your hardback book, your podcast, your audiobook, all the opportunities you have to tell the world about your book. And then if I had a bigger piece of paper, I'd do your marketing funnel. But what I like about what you're just sharing about using audience insights is how it starts with helping with that demographic of targeting your audience. It helps with the strategy behind your book, what to say to them, so that when you get this party of people in your house, that you know who it is. Because you're going to have a different party if they're 54-year-old women who like dog training than 18-year-old, would you say Portuguese boys?
13-year-old Brazilian boys.
13-year-old Brazilian.
That is a target market for someone, I'm sure, but just not my business coaching client.
Okay, I love it. And you're talking about making sure that in your business, you mentioned the 3 different kinds of lists, and that's what you gave a couple of minutes about. The list is to get all the people up at the top of this funnel that you get to talk to and send cool stuff to and create goodwill. And then you keep inviting them, hey, come into my business and buy something. Get a cup of coffee, get a Brazilian wax, whatever it is that you sell. You know, apparently somebody's had one of those. I have not.
No comment.
Okay. All right. So this is who to target. That's my little 2 cents of... You can write this note down. I noticed you didn't grab your book. You didn't learn anything new to write down.
No. You know what? It was so clear and simple. It's all right here.
That's what I love.
I don't even need to write it down. It's captured.
Okay. So then what to say, you need to let people know that they're in the right place. So that's why your initial marketing for your light campaign can be like, do you love fish? Great. Then you'll love my fishing Facebook page or something like that.
Yep.
We're on the target? Okay. So now I want to learn more about, now everybody's going to be able to get your free resources. You're going to get Victoria's chapter in Your Epic Book Launch. I think we're giving it away for like $1 or something right now, or just a few bucks on Amazon. So make sure you pick that up. And then we've also got, go to greatnessquest.com/FB for authors, where it's very specific about how you can use Facebook to promote your book. And to be 100% authentic and clear here, we're having Victoria do this for us for our book because we wanted someone to help us with that. My advice always is to hire a professional. So if you have a chance to reach out and hire Victoria, read her books, go to her website, find her. Your business again is Straight Line Marketing, right?
It is, yes.
StraightLineMarketing.com. Yes, love that. Okay, so that's how they're going to find you. Now let's wrap up today because we've been on for quite a while, and I know I wanted to make sure they had the free resources again, but what's your last advice to someone, or we can talk for another 5 minutes if you want, but as far as what we just finished, what they should say, what's next, what else do they need to know?
I think the main thing is, you brought up something before about you don't know what to do and you feel overwhelmed, so you don't do it. The good thing is Facebook is free. It's available. Most of us are on it a lot anyway for personal reasons. There's nothing you can break. There's nothing that's going to go wrong. So just try it. So, you can click around. You can create your business page as number one. Then take a look at audience insights. Once you start looking around, I think you'll be surprised at the amount of data that's there. And, we didn't even touch on all of the type of data that's there and what you can do with it in your business. I think if you look at audience insights with the idea of how can I use this to grow my business, you're going to get a lot of ideas. So go ahead and just start there. You're not even creating anything there. You're just playing and looking around. So it's very simple. Then basic campaigns, a light campaign, as we talked about, super simple. So it really is all about just getting started. You said, what is that one thing? Just, there's nothing you can break. It's very easy to get started, and also it can be cheap. People get scared because they think it's going to be a lot of, kind of a lot of expense. They also think it's going to be a lot of hassle creating content. But when you're doing a light campaign, you need just a couple posts to engage people and tell people what this page is all about, and you can start to grow your base. So okay. I think that's about it. If I know you wanted to keep it short and simple, but that's where to get started. The one thing I will say is, as you start to think about how to get people onto your email list, that's where you want to start thinking about what are the sales campaigns and how are you getting people from Facebook and really tempting them to sign up and give you a name and email. Well, but that'll be the next step.
Well, and I know that's something that we've talked about, that instead of for Your Epic Book Launch, whatever we did marketing-wise, we wanted it to have a positive return on investment or ROI. So that is a different type of, instead of just like my page, that was making sure that I run an ad that's going to maybe give away something for free, but then have something we can sell on the back end, even for like a low price, maybe even especially a low price, to make sure that we get a lot of people to buy that pays for the marketing. Is that also what you advise when it comes to running these ads?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a difference between when you're just getting started and laying the foundation for your business, and maybe there's some investment you want to make to get that base. Very quickly, in fact, as soon as you're able to sell something, you should sell something, because return on investment requires investment. People need to be able to buy something. So, or I should say it requires an investment from you, but the return means that other people can invest in you. So, you're investing, say, $10 in campaign. Hopefully you're selling something that's more than $10, or the sum total of people who buy it gives you back more than $10.
Okay, so hold on. There's a couple things here that I think is really key. Again, and we're kind of at the end of this interview, so anybody who's still listening right now, congratulations, because this is key.
Oh gosh, you make it sound so painful. My apologies to anyone listening. It's been so painful.
No, I'm just saying that people get distracted and they move on to other things, and we've been talking about for over 30
I'm right
minutes.
With you.
So
I'm with you.
Here's the thing, is oftentimes entrepreneurs will think, I don't need to spend any money on marketing. I'll ask them, what do you do for marketing? And I get a lot of clients who are like, well, I've never needed to market before. I've made $100,000, I made $1 million, I made $4 million, and I didn't do any marketing. Great, but now it's like having a table with one leg. It's phenomenal that you have enough of whatever you do to get clients, but your table's going to fall down. That's not, because all it takes is that gets a little crack in it, and now you're screwed. So I like to have the many legs under the table. So first of all, everybody should be paying attention that if you're not doing paid marketing, you need to start doing it, even as simple as $2 a day. So thank you for giving me a very reasonable piece that I can give someone, like at least do this, because I want to advise my clients appropriately. And I see your mouth moving. I want to make sure I give you a chance to talk. Like,
yes,
because I feel like
I'm dying to say something.
Please.
No, but I feel so strongly about what you just said, because in a business, what you really need is predictability. You want revenue coming in, consistent revenue. You also want to know what your numbers are. If I put this much into my business, I'm going to get this much out. You cannot do that with free traffic. With free traffic, first of all, there's still a lot of effort, so there's no real free traffic because you're putting in your time and effort or potentially paying someone to write the content. But it's also, you can't target who's going to see that content or when, and you don't know that they're going to be the right people for you. So really, the only way to have a predictable business is when you're actually setting up and in control of the whole process. You're in control of the process when you can target the right people, and over time you'll figure out what you're paying for your lead costs, and you're targeting the right people, you're taking them through a structured process, and you're measuring the whole way through. So that's where we get the predictable business.
I love it. And I teach that as well. I say that I try to pretend that I read people's mind, and I say that they want an easy, predictable, sustainable business. That's what they want. They don't want to be overwhelmed with all kinds of BS that they don't like. They want it to be relatively easy. They want to be able to rely on it and predict. They can predict it like, hey, you know what? When it's raining, I'm going to have an umbrella. You know, it's going to rain, but it's predictable. They know it's coming. And then sustainable, that they can go ahead and repeat, which you were just saying is you're in control when you're paying for that marketing versus just letting organic happen, which can be a phenomenal resource, but not
for a time.
But if you want to take your business to the next level, it's really getting into that where you're paying for marketing, paying per leads. But I was bringing this back to return on investment, because you said another thing that's really key here. I see this when people say, yeah, I do Facebook, I do LinkedIn, I do YouTube. Okay, great. Phenomenal that you do that. Okay. But there's one other thing that you just said here. It's like, in order to have a return on investment, you need to sell something. If you don't, so people are like, well, I'll just give value. And I'm doing my Facebook and I'm making my comments. Well, that is not strategic. You got to actually sell something. So this is key. This is why a lot of times people will say, Trevor, come help me do more marketing for my business. And I'm like, I would love to turn on the marketing, right? That's phenomenal. Yeah. There's a million things we can do to turn on your marketing. But if you're not making the sale, which has happened many times with clients, they'll say, hey, I just got these 20 new leads and I spent all this time, money, energy, and they were so hot. How many did you close? None. They didn't seem to buy the same way all those organic people who already loved me and would place orders with me. So in order to turn on the marketing, a lot of people will waste their money by turning on marketing with a new client they don't know anything about, and then they don't have a good sales process. So what's a good thing for someone to sell from their Facebook marketing? I mean, because I have a $10,000 program. Should I be going ahead and saying, hey, click here and buy my $10,000 program? This is, again, a little bit about what to say, and I know we're going really long, but what should I sell?
You know what? Actually, you can, not to break the bubble, but you can sell $10,000 programs from Facebook. Mm-hmm. It just means that there's likely, in their relationship with you, they've known you for a while, and that you've taken them through a process where it's not click to a sales page to buy $10,000. Usually it's, in that scenario, they've known you for a little while, so you've nurtured them, but they're re-engaging with you again on Facebook. They go to a webinar where you're teaching them something awesome. Your call to action is a strategy session, and from the strategy session, you're selling them a multi-$1,000 program. So Facebook doesn't mean that you just have to sell high volume $1 or $2 items. You can absolutely sell premium products and services from Facebook. It's just where they are in the process with you and the steps that you take them through after you engage and get their attention from Facebook. So
in that example, they run an ad, they go to a sign up for the webinar where you give a lot of value, and maybe this is a multiple times probably to get somebody to give you $3 signs. It's probably not the first time they've gotten in touch with you. But that is what you're saying. We can sell stuff that's relatively... The cool thing about this ad to sign up for the webinar is that they actually have to buy this for free or for a low cost to get this. Like they actually have to sign up. They have to show up. That's an
Yeah.
investment of time and or money, which is an investment. So that is a low level to a high level. Okay, great.
Yeah,
We've been
absolutely.
talking for a long time,
Yeah.
so I want to give you an opportunity to wrap everything up, give people their final call to action here.
Yep, absolutely. So just to recap, because I know we were a little bit all over the place, but there's so much to say.
There is.
On this topic. But get started easy. Facebook, don't even need the website. You can start off with just a business page. Grow your fan base to people who are your ideal target audience, which you've researched with Audience Insights. Grow a basic foundation with your fans through a like campaign. And then that lets you run additional promotions to them over time, which could lead to higher dollar sales. So the main thing is just to go ahead and get started, even if it's going into Audience Insights, looking around. You don't even need a business page for that. You can just go and start to research your target audience. And I'd say that is the biggest call to action. If you want a little more detail on how these all fit together in the context of launching a book or growing your business, go get the Epic book, read my chapter. And for additional resources, Facebook for Authors.
Yeah, the greatnessquest.com/FB for authors. Check out Victoria Griggs, Griggs, correct?
Correct.
And then straightlinemarketing.com. And thank you so much. Last little 2 cents from your silly camo guy today is you mentioned something about additional marketing or additional programs. You kind of said it, and I wrote it down because I think a lot of people that will start marketing think, I'm going to try this new type of marketing. I'm going to invest in my time, energy, money, resources, and I'm going to try it out once.
Oh.
And they're thinking, okay, so I just did it. I just ran an ad and it didn't work. Or I spent all this money. I spent $50. I spent $500. I spent $5,000 and it didn't work. And I saw this for a while. I was traveling the country and I would teach people at trade shows and business expos how to run their booth. Like franchise owners, they would run this booth and all these thousands of people would come to their event. And I saw it there'd be hundreds of vendors. And about half of them, it was their first trade show. So their first time spending money on the trade show booth. So let's say they bought a $5,000 booth.
It can add up for those trade shows.
It can totally add up. So they're into 10 grand to run their first trade show. And they're like, well, I want this to work today. This weekend, the first time I've ever run. If it doesn't make any money, I'm out. And I'm thinking, dude, this is the first time you've done it. Like, you need to do 20 of these things. You need to do 200 of these. This is a new way of marketing in your business to master it. Because the other half of the people at those trade shows, it was a core part of their business. They did it every week. They're at every trade show. I saw them all over the country, and it made money. They just made money because they understood the system. So this is the same thing. When you do marketing, it is not a one-off. It's
a process, not an event.
I love that because it's too often, and when I'm like, okay, I want to add Facebook marketing, let's go do one. Victoria, let's go do one of them things and run it. Let's see how it does. And you said to me off camera that sometimes the expectations of some of your more rookie clients is that this one marketing program needs to go ahead and do everything. And like one of your first things you do with people is reframe them and say, whoa, no, that's not the expectation. So I know we've been going on forever, but just talk a little bit about that and we can wrap this up.
Okay, I think the main thing to know, keep in mind is you can't improve what you don't measure. So most of the people that come to me and they say, I've tried Facebook marketing and it doesn't work, I'll say, okay, well, let's take a look. And in fact, this just happened last week. Okay, why don't you give me access to your ad platform and we'll go in and take a look. Well, I look and they'd been setting up ads in a way that they weren't tracking results. And so I was saying, okay, well, these aren't even where the you've set up the pages later in the process to be able to say how far did people go after they clicked on the ad. They didn't have that. So I said, okay, so how do you know it's not working? So the first thing is making sure that you are measuring everything, and then you can improve. But of course, the first time you do anything, imagine the first time you record a video, the first time you write something, it's always your worst. The most expensive Facebook marketing you'll do when you're running a lead generation campaign, now we're talking about moving people through a series of steps, the most expensive you'll do is at the beginning because you're testing to find what does work and what doesn't work. Now, what you do over time is only you're tracking and knowing what's the results enough so where you can weed out the things that are not working and only keep what does work over time. And that's why I say it's a process. A lot of times what we call a funnel or a campaign will take 60 to 90 days to optimize and tracking. And that's just looking at the different variables and making tests and tweaks. And the really good marketers, guess what? I know this sounds daunting, but they never stop. So they always have this always be testing, where they're saying, here's the control. This is what's working the best. Let me change this. Does it work better or worse than before? Okay. And kind of going from there. So I think that is something to keep in mind, regardless of whether you're experienced or just starting out. It's a process. This can be an extremely lucrative, predictable channel for you, and give it the chance to work, and also the patience of knowing that it requires some optimization and over time. And if you're not comfortable doing it, absolutely get a professional on board to help you out.
Well, and you said that some of your clients you've transitioned to just paying you monthly for you to do this for them on a consistent basis instead of just bouncing from campaign to campaign. And what you found was that's actually what they wanted. So I think that's really key. Is it's a core part of your business that you never stop doing. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here, Victoria.
Thank you.
You've been a lot of fun, and I hope my ridiculousness doesn't turn people off of my awesome. What, are you kidding? Come on.
No.
Transform your business. All right, Victoria. Thank you so much, and we'll see everybody else back here on Greatness Quest. Make sure you tune in here every week. I've got someone else extraordinary I'm bringing you to help you take your business to the next level, and you're going to get more of Victoria here if you check out our book, check out the free giveaway, and check her out at Straight Line Marketing. See you next week.
Thanks.
Greatness Quest is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.